Thank you for turning to page 121. Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at another old friend that's been on my shelf for a long time, the Monster Manual 2. This guy came out in 1983 and is designed, of course, for the AD&D system, which was the main system we had at the time. Basic D&D was around, but honestly, that was nothing I really looked at. This book gave us some much needed update for new monsters in the dungeon. I'd been playing this game steadily for over 3 years by the time this book landed, and yeah, I was ready for some new monsters. We'd gotten plenty in various modules and Dragon Magazine articles, and a lot of those monsters made it to this book, but there's still plenty of things in here that were exciting and new at the time. So I'm going to go ahead and open the book a little bit. We're going to discuss some of the entries, and then we'll take a look at some of the excellent figures that have been released over the years for the monsters in this book. All right, I've opened the book up to just a random page, but I landed on a page with Drider and Duergar as the listings. I did this kind of to illustrate my point. These books are outstanding. You can still do it today, of course, but I would just let these books fall open to a certain page, take a look at what was presented on those pages, and say, oh, yeah, okay, I can do a dungeon based around Drider. I could do a dungeon based around, they're out in the desert, so I'll put some dust diggers in, that sort of thing. It was just a lot of fun. It still is a lot of fun to just open these books up and kind of let them take you places that you might not have thought to go. This book greatly expanded on devils, demons, dragons. We get a lot of the Oriental dragons in here. More dinosaurs, the Dracolich, the Cloud Dragon, the Fairy Dragon. Oh, no Oriental ones in this one. Yeah, they're there. Oh, the Mist Dragon. Just a lot of good information, a lot of fun to be had in these pages. Solars, which apparently had been something in Gygax's game for quite some time. I first remember encountering them here. Just so much stuff, so much goodness in these pages. There's not a ton that needs to be said about this book as far as its history. As I said, it was published in 83. It was a must-have for all of us at the time. It just appeared on every table. Most of my friends who were even players, not DMs, ended up buying a copy of this book. D&D was probably at almost its highest peak in 83 when this book came out. They could just publish something and people would just rush to buy it. Again, just like the Monster Manual 1, the superlatives don't come quickly enough. The artwork is updated as compared to Monster Manual 1. It's a little cleaner than the original, but it still captures a lot of the original flavor. I'm going to go over here to the Shade. The Shade was actually quite a game changer in our campaign because we actually had a player character of a high level get turned into a Shade. Once I'd read this, and then there's a rather lengthy Dragon article on Shades. It had a big impact on my campaign back in the 80s. We meet the Modrones here. Not a huge fan of the Modrones, but it did give us an insight into other planar creatures we weren't familiar with at the time. And then we just come down. Moondogs. Moondogs are a fun, rare monster of a good alignment. They're rare in that they're good aligned. Most monsters in these books are evil or at best neutral. So a lot of stuff came out of this campaign, from my campaign rather, came out of this book. And I absolutely love this book. I still use it all the time. When I have I'm designing a game, this one's sitting right underneath my Monster Manual and my Fiend Folio, waiting to be picked up and waiting to give me ideas. I'm going to show a few of the monsters that came out of this book. And again, these are Wizards of the Coast figures we've gotten over the last few years. And I think Wizards has done a really nice job with these. I am thrilled to be able to affordably have monsters that I've wanted the whole time. The Barlagura, first introduced in this book. I'll change my lighting a little bit here. First introduced in this book, the Barlagura figure came out a few years ago, and it's really nice. The Dao, or Dao, depending on how you say it. These are the Earth Genies, DAO. There we are. Here. DAO is how it's spelled. An excellent figure for them. The Cloaker, one of my favorite monsters, especially when this book was new. You put on that cloak that you hope is magical, and it turns out it's a creature. And then to get it off, they have to kind of half beat you to death too. The Behir, 12 dice lightning, why not? Lots of attacks. The Behir is just such a fun monster. He appears in a lot of my games. And then one of my personal favorites, and another player in our game who does DM sometime, the Froghemoth. This one actually is one I bought and painted. So this can kind of link to my video about table-ready painting. I am not pretending for a moment that this is an expert paint job, although I am rather pleased with how I got the eyes. But this guy's already been on my tabletop a couple of times. I love the sculpt, and frankly, I'm pleased with the paint job I did. So there you have it. This was just another little quick trip on memory lane. I'm probably going to hit all of the hardcovers that came out for the AD&D line, whether they were first or second edition. So this completes my look at the monster manuals, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some other stuff that came out down the line. So that's it for today on page 121. I hope you liked what you saw. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Well, that closes the book on another episode of page 121. Please leave your comments below, and if you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.